So in this video we have 3 replays. The first will be a Comet, then a Firefly, and finally the Conqueror. They're not particularly special. I think I just got really decent XP in each of them when I initially recorded the games. So to start out with, I've got the Comet, and basically this replay, we're well into the battle at this point. I've already taken a hit. I think it was from the T-20 up ahead. But this is just me bumbling about near the base. I was a bit indecisive when I played this game. I couldn't figure out where I had to go or where I'd be best useful. And then I derp it up a bit by trying to go up this hill, which you can't do. So my goal at this point was basically, I could see there were enemies attacking our base, so to try and get back to the base, try and support from this position. They're spotted, so I can fire through the bushes without being seen. So with the Sherman dealt with, I had the choice of, do I hang around and try and engage the T-32 and the IS and everything else, or head back up and help the tanks down the line with me. In the end, I rather obviously decided to help out this T-29 here.
Penetration! Great shot! That one
I think at the time I was trying to set the IS on fire, hence why I was constantly going for engine shots. But as you can see, not a lot of the shots go through. And with the Comet, its gun's pretty good, it's rapid firing. Especially, it fires just as rapidly as compared to the Cromwell, which I'm about to take a pot shot at there, and only managed to hit his tracks. But I'm also slower than the Cromwell, and my traverse isn't as fast. But I think I've got a better turret, and I have better gun stability. And this IS is nearly dead. That shot should have gone through, but it didn't. So now up here we've got the IS-6 trying to get in on the action. Still trying to set fire to someone. I don't think I was doing the mission to do this, but apparently my mission in life at the time was just set things on fire.
We didn't penetrate
not succeed at it. The kill just gets snaked from under me. So the base is mostly secure, so we turn around and go back to support the tanks that are fighting down the line with me. Up ahead is a T-28. I think I make a bit of a mistake here. I shouldn't have gone the way I'm going now. I should have gone down that little side road to the right. But hindsight's 20/20. The reason for why I should have taken the other way is pretty obvious there. I wouldn't have taken the hit that I did. Would have been able to get him, track him, something, and basically just wail away on him. As it stands, I took a hit. I had the health, I could certainly absorb it, but it was worth it in the end. Mind you, I did get the kill. Secured it. So that's pretty much all the resistance down this side of the map dealt with. It's just their guys left in their base. I think it's at this point that I start getting a little greedy. And I'm kind of throwing caution to the wind. Now at the same time, if I hadn't taken the hit from the T-28 that I did, what comes next probably would have gone a lot better for me. Alternatively, if I was running a premium consumable, you'll see what happens. But I probably would have survived what comes next. Spoiler. Small tip. Anytime you start a match and you see that thing in the middle of the cap circle, run over it. People can hide behind that thing. I wish this shot had gone through.
The engines. We done for.
probably still would have died. And it was a victory anyway. But at least I would have gotten some damage off him. Basically, this just shows some of the stats. It wasn't the best match ever, as you can see, only second class mastery. But hey, that's a nice bit of XP at the time. So next is the Firefly. A lot of people basically say this thing is essentially an easy 8. It kind of is. Not by much though. I think it's got slightly better penetration. It's also slower and has less health. But I like it. I have fun with it. But I like all of the Shermans in the game. They have their uses. A lot of people will call them crap, but you can kill a lot of things with these tanks if you know how to drive them. Now, I'm not saying that I know like the best places to take this tank, that I'm an expert or anything like that, but I like to think that since I have ace mastery in most of my Shermans, that I do kind of know what I'm doing. Sometimes, anyway. This is everyone's favourite map, Durbanberg. So named because, you know, almost every game, someone drives into the river in the middle and drowns. So this is Assault mode, I think it's called. My team's defending. I'm going to be honest, I hate this mode. It is not my favourite thing to do in this game. But, work with what you've got. So I'm basically just constantly poking the hill, trying to get spots, trying to get in a position to take a shot at something. This match was pretty frustrating for me, from memory. I couldn't really find anything to shoot at early on. I was just really in poor positioning on my part. I probably could have afforded to move up, gotten stuck in, but I don't really view the Firefly as a brawler. The Easy 8 certainly is, even though it's got next to no armor, as is the case with almost all of the Shermans. I try to take a shot at the cannon down there. I think I just pulled that up a bit too high when I fired. Take a big old hit there from SU-152. I'm sorry, the preview window is really tiny, so it's kind of hard to tell what I'm looking at. All I know is that I've just lost pretty much half my health. Now, Mechanovan kind of throws it away here. They've ignored me, which is fine, I'm not the biggest threat. But they've come up onto the hill, onto this little embankment area, when there are 3 opponents, which is not going to win well at any point. You've got a next customer, Panther 2 I think. He's driving up, he thinks about poking the hill, reconsiders, and then the JT-88 puts a hole. So that Panther 2 is backing off and he's going to try for a flank. I guess he figured he'd really only have to deal with me at that point. The JT-88 is pretty slow. It doesn't have the best turning speed. And now he's getting engaged by a whole bunch of different tanks. I'm sure he's probably just seen the shot come in from behind him as well. Put one into the back of his turret, and good night, sweet prince. So that's pretty much this flank secured. I take a little hit from the T-20 there, but it just bounces off the back of my turret. And then he gets his ticket punched. Let's see if I can get a shot on that TD over there. There's buildings in the way, sadly. I'm probably being overcautious at this point in the game. My basically saw the TD pop up again on the screen and immediately backed off behind cover and went hull down. I probably could have afforded to simply move up and start trying to engage targets. I'm pretty much playing this thing as a TD. It's probably not ideal, but considering that the next tank in the line is a turreted British TD, it probably makes sense. It kind of prepares you for that tank and its gun handling. It was an iffy shot at best on the AT over there.
We didn't even scratch them.
Basically I was aiming for the commander's hatch. It's a small target at this sort of range, and this gun definitely has the accuracy to hit it. But it's still, you know, with RNGs, it's not always smiling upon you. That sort of shot is, you know, not always guaranteed. Basically, this guy's all alone over here now. He has no chance. He's got tanks coming in ahead of him, tanks coming in behind him. My first shot does nothing. I have one of those, I think it's the AT-15, but the AT-15. I have one of those, and I don't know. They're not that good of a tank. Tank destroyer, I don't feel. They've got so many glaring weaknesses on the front that you really can't afford to be spotted when you're driving it. The turret mantlet has a great big hole in the middle of it that just about any shot will go into. The commander's hatch is rather prominent, and I snaked that kill. And even the front of the tank destroyer has lots of little shot traps and nooks that are really easy to penetrate and can basically cost you a game. Unlike the AT-7 before it, where you can basically hide the commander's hatch and you're not invincible, there are tanks you'll encounter that can certainly still pen your front. The AT-15 doesn't quite have that. It's not quite as capable of doing that. So basically at this point in the match it's just cleanup. That's the Awful Panther, which is no longer in the game. Which is a pity. I mean, I call it the Awful Panther, but of all the light tanks in the game, it was the heaviest. And was fantastic for ramming other light tanks as a result of that. I never really learned how to play it properly. I kept trying to drive it as a light tank. I think that's kind of a mistake. I probably should have driven it as more of a medium. But, you know, mileage may vary, and I don't claim to be an expert. Coming up here on our cap circle now. Basically getting ready to end it. He knew he couldn't win, but, you know, he went down fighting, to some extent at least. And that's the Firefly. So finally is the Conqueror. I've not got this deleted. I don't have the biggest gun for it yet. I only have the Canavon's top gun. And whilst you think that'd kind of gimp it, it doesn't. I have upgraded the turret, because, quite frankly, the stock turret's terrible. And the new turret has been buffed in the recent patch. The tier 9 gun on this, though, from the Canavon, is more than capable of dishing out that, as you're about to see. So, once again, it's in assault mode on Derpenberg. No one drowns themselves, I don't think. almost a surprise when you play this map and someone doesn't drown themselves within the first 30 seconds of the match, on either team. So I got the T-49 up ahead. I'm really looking forward to unlocking and buying that tank. It's a KV-2 on a light tank. Who wouldn't want that? A derp gun on a light tank. Basically hoping to try and get a shot, hoping he'll be, I don't know, brave enough to pop up. But he's smart enough not to.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Getting a shot in the Tiger 2 there, and then back off as the STI or ST1 sort of pokes around the corner up there. I start putting a few shots downrange. Wait, no, that's the STI.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Either or.
Enemy is hit. Critical hit.
That's the FE201. It's a new premium heavy material recently via an event. At least on the, as I understand it, it's not yet on the EU server if you play on the EU server. Now the STA2, no armor, but a great gun. Now, again, I'm not going to ever claim to be the best player of this game. I have fun with it, I rage out at it sometimes, but that T95, the original Doom Turtle, I think he moved up expecting his team would follow him. The T95, from the front, and even from the sides, and as you're about to see from the rear, has some amazing armor. If it's supported, if people move up and suppress and prevent people like me doing what I've just done, which is putting a shot into the arse of it, it can really dish out a lot of hurt. Its weak spots from the front, difficult to hit, and frankly, very few people ever want to put their face out in front of the 152, I think it is, cannon that it has.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Now, the shot that bounced off just then, off the top of him, that was me attempting to hit the fuel tanks on top there. But I am at just enough of an angle that they're not going to hurt. Now, the gun I have mounted on the Conqueror at the moment, I have I think it's like an average after damage of 230, 250, something like that. If I had the top gun mounted, I'd be doing closer to 400 with each shot.
The driver's injured.
I've taken a big old hit there. I've basically lingered there too long now. I've been taking fire from the ST1, the STA2, and then finally at the end there, the artillery.
Enemy armor is damaged.
I only just managed to survive at that point. Friendly E75 cuts in front of me, which is fine, and I'm getting greedy at this point. I'm just trying to farm damage, get a kill,
Done for. Everyone get out.
yeah, the STI, he punches my ticket. And that's that. Replay. Done and dusted. Have fun.